Spread over nearly 130 square kilometres, the Belgian port of Antwerp is a difficult place for authorities to monitor. It's become the main gateway into Europe for cocaine traffickers, and last year, a record 110 tonnes of the drug were seized here. This truck from Bulgaria is passed through the scanner, a treatment reserved for just a small proportion of traffic here.
Controls at the port of Antwerp see between 1.5 and 2% of containers checked. That's the European norm. But we want to be able to check more and more via recruitment and investment in scanners.
With nothing suspicious found, the truck is sent on its way. Others will have to be searched.
If there is a suspicious image on the scanning image, then we have to look into that area, always.
This agent is looking for counterfeit goods, but customs officers also know the telltale signs of containers used to conceal drugs, like this one spotted a few months ago.
This is a typical load of bananas. There you can clearly see their shapes, but the scanner shows us the mass is not the same, and there we have 2 tons of cocaine which have been hidden.
A smuggling problem which has tarnished this city. At the beginning of January, an 11-year-old girl was shot dead in a suspected settling of scores linked to the drugs trade. Joris is a legal correspondent at the local newspaper and regularly receives shocking videos from criminal gangs.
They do not only attack each other's houses, they also film it, because they're really seeking public attention to feel more terror and to threaten their opponents, their enemies.
This city of 500,000 people is locked in a drugs war that's overwhelmed the system.
There's more crime than our local police and our justice system can cope with. So there's really a crisis going on in the capacity what our local authorities can do against the problem.
Belgium's drug crime problem stretches beyond the Antwerp area. Here in the city of Liège, a trial unprecedented in scale is taking place. 37 defendants are accused of involvement in international drugs trafficking. It's the first time this lawyer has worked on a case like it.
Usually, when you're a criminal lawyer in a city like Liège, you're dealing with retail crime, dealing on the streets, etc. Here, we're talking more about massive wholesale imports via the ports of Northern Europe.
Authorities have had to invest 700,000 euros to secure the courtroom. Bulletproof windows, a reinforced police presence. Even Belgium's justice minister has been directly threatened by suspected traffickers.
It's a security measure which we couldn't really do without, given the level of the threat. Imagine something happened, like a magistrate being killed or one of the defendants attacked. Even if it costs a bit of money, I believe that we can never be too careful.
In 2021, the takedown of the Sky ECC encrypted messaging app saw the arrest of numerous drugs trafficking suspects. A big victory for the Belgian police. Now it's down to the justice system to follow up.
How can you deal with criminals who have absolutely mind-blowing means at their disposal? Sometimes they have millions of euros in accounts in cryptocurrency. Those with the means can buy and destabilize. All of these challenges are completely new, very different from the terrorist threat, for example, where ultimately the means involved were very limited.
As trafficking thrives, drug use has skyrocketed. Analysis of wastewater in nearly 80 European cities saw Antwerp come out with the highest concentration of cocaine. Brussels was not far behind. David's a former addict who now helps those dealing with dependency. He says the drugs landscape has changed beyond recognition.
There never used to be so much trafficking. There were no dealers who delivered straight to your living room. Sometimes we had to go to Holland to get it. It wasn't just everyone like today. The environment has changed so much. Now it's like calling a taxi company. You call up and within a quarter of an hour you've got drugs. A lot more people have access now.
This young man, who preferred to remain anonymous, is once again trying to kick his cocaine habit. A challenge in a city like Antwerp, where drugs are easy to find.
It is definitely easier in Antwerp. It's much more available. Well, back in the day, I texted one number, and after a week, I got texts from 10 different numbers. You can pick any dealer. It was definitely very difficult in periods that I was trying not to use, because then you block one number, but a couple of days later, you get a text from another number, and it triggers you.
This time, he changed his number before starting treatment, a precaution in the face of an illegal trade that's become ever more professional.